Hey there, ready to dive into the world of academic support officers. We're talking interview prep today. How to absolutely ACE it for this role.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to break down what this career really entails, right? Tackle some common interview questions,
Love it.
and even sprinkle in some tips on how RoleCatcher's AI can give you that extra edge.
Sounds like a plan. Let's equip our listeners with the knowledge and confidence to wow those interviewers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So first things first,
Okay.
who are academic support officers?
Right.
They're the champions for students facing learning challenges, but they're so much more than just tutors.
That's right. Think of them as the Student Success Squad. They're the main point of contact, organizers of social activities, collaborators with teachers and families. It's a multifaceted role.
Yeah, it's a lot more than people realize when they just hear that title.
Right.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide really dives deep into this.
Yeah.
It highlights the varied nature of the job, from one-on-one student sessions to coordinating entire programs.
And speaking of variety, the guide emphasizes that no 2 days are the same.
Right.
You could be developing a personalized learning plan one moment
Wow.
and facilitating a workshop for teachers the next.
Talk about keeping things interesting.
Right.
But it also mentions the emotional demands of the job, right?
Uh-huh.
You're working with students who might be struggling, which requires a lot of empathy and resilience.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's about celebrating those aha moments when a student grasps a concept, but also being there to provide support and encouragement when they face setbacks.
Of course, of course.
That being said, the job outlook for ASOs is quite positive.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
It's reassuring for anyone considering this career path.
Yeah.
The guide attributes this to the ever-evolving landscape of education and the increasing need for individualized support.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, are you ready to step into the interview hot seat?
Oh, I'm nervous already.
Let's do it. Let's tackle some common questions you might encounter, starting with, what inspired you to pursue a career as an academic support officer?
Ooh, that one always feels like a curveball. It's about more than just listing your qualifications, isn't it?
It is. Interviewers want to hear the why behind your choice,
Right.
the spark that ignited your passion for supporting students. Remember, they've already seen your resume.
Yeah, they have that.
Now they want to get to know the person behind the paper.
Right. Okay. So instead of just saying, I've always enjoyed working with children,
Right.
you could talk about a specific experience that solidified your interest in this field.
Precisely. Maybe you mentored a struggling student in college,
Right.
or perhaps you volunteered at an after-school program and witnessed firsthand the impact of individualized support.
Yeah,
Make it personal and relatable.
that's great advice.
Yeah.
Now, let's imagine the interviewer throws you another curveball.
Okay.
What are the key responsibilities of an ASO? What makes this different from just listing generic duties?
This is your chance to demonstrate a deep understanding of the role.
Okay.
Yes, you'll want to mention things like advising, program development, and collaboration, but go beyond the surface.
Okay, so more than just, the bullet points on the
Exactly.
job description.
Highlight what makes this role unique.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
The RoleCatcher Guide emphasizes the importance of creating personalized learning plans
Yes.
and collaborating with teachers and families.
Absolutely.
Those seem like key aspects.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer.
Oh, okay.
Imagine having access to thousands of real interview responses tailored to this specific job role.
Okay, that sounds incredibly helpful.
It is.
How does that work exactly?
RoleCatcher analyzes those responses and provides you with personalized feedback on your own answers.
Wow.
It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket,
Okay.
helping you fine-tune your responses to make a lasting impression.
That's amazing. Okay, so back to our interview prep.
Yes.
What's the next question we should be ready for?
All right, get ready for this one. How do you stay up to date on the latest trends and best practices in academic support?
The continuous learning question. It's so important to demonstrate that you're passionate about professional development, especially in a field as dynamic as education.
Exactly. And while mentioning conferences and workshops is a good start,
Right.
think beyond the obvious.
Right.
Are you part of any online communities where educators share resources? Do you subscribe to relevant journals?
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
The RoleCatcher Guide actually lists some reputable journals that ASOs should be familiar with.
That's a great resource to tap into. The key here is to demonstrate that you're not just keeping up with the latest trends.
Yeah.
You're actively seeking out knowledge and bringing those fresh perspectives to your work with students.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into another question. Imagine a student who's struggling academically and seems to have lost motivation. How do you help?
Ooh, this one's all about showcasing your empathy and problem-solving skills.
Yeah.
It's about going beyond the textbook and addressing the emotional aspect of learning. Yeah.
The RoleCatcher Guide suggests creating personalized learning plans, but how do you translate that into a compelling interview answer?
It's all about showcasing your ability to connect with students on a personal level.
Okay.
Share a specific anecdote about a time you helped a struggling student regain their motivation.
So, for example, you could talk about how you discovered a shared interest with a student outside of academics,
Yes,
which helped you build rapport and re-engage them in their learning.
precisely.
Okay.
Or perhaps you help the student break down a daunting task into smaller, more manageable goals,
Right.
boosting their confidence and motivation along the way.
Those are great examples.
Yeah.
It's about showing that you understand that every student is different and there's no one-size-fits-all approach to support.
Exactly.
Now, on to a question about a key skill for any ASO.
Okay.
How do you balance the needs of multiple students with competing demands for your time and attention?
Ooh, time management is crucial in this role. The guide highlights the importance of prioritization,
Right.
delegation, and having systems in place.
Right, but we don't want to sound like robots just spitting out buzzwords. How can we add some personality to our response?
Share a specific system or method you use to stay organized.
Okay.
Maybe you swear by color-coded planners or have a digital task management system you love.
Right.
The key is to demonstrate that you're not just managing your time,
Right.
you're creating an environment where you can give each student the attention they deserve.
It's that balance between efficiency and personalization that makes all the difference.
Exactly. And that brings us to our final question for this part.
Wait, already I feel like we just got started.
Don't worry, we've got plenty more interview prep up our sleeves.
Okay, good.
We were just about to dive into another challenging question.
All right, bring it on.
Okay, here's one that often trips people up. What experience do you have working with students from diverse backgrounds and cultures?
Ooh, that's a big one. And understandably so. Education is becoming increasingly global, and ASOs need to be prepared to support a wide range of student needs.
You hit the nail on the head. It's not just about understanding different cultural norms, though that's certainly important. It's about recognizing that students from diverse backgrounds may face unique challenges.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide emphasizes the importance of cultural responsiveness in this context.
Yes, and that goes way beyond simply treating everyone the same. It's about acknowledging, valuing, and adapting to those differences to create a truly inclusive learning environment.
So how can someone answering this question really demonstrate that cultural responsiveness?
It's about showcasing your ability to connect with students from all walks of life. Share specific examples from your experiences. Maybe you volunteered with a multicultural youth group, mentored students from disadvantaged backgrounds, or worked with international students navigating a new education system.
Those real-life experiences speak volumes. Instead of just saying, I treat everyone equally, you're demonstrating a genuine understanding of the challenges and strengths that diversity brings to a learning environment.
Exactly. It shows you're not just aware of diversity, you're actively creating an inclusive and equitable learning space. Ready for the next challenge?
Absolutely. Hit me with it.
All right, here's a question that really lets you showcase your analytical skills.
Yeah.
How do you measure the effectiveness of academic support programs?
Okay. Getting down to brass tacks with data analysis. The RoleCatcher Guide did mention that data-driven decision-making is key for ASOs.
It's essential. You need to demonstrate that you can go beyond simply believing in tracking progress and articulate how you'd assess the impact of those programs. Think about concrete data points like student outcomes, but don't stop there.
So it's not just about the numbers.
Exactly. What other methods would you use to gain a comprehensive understanding of a program's effectiveness? Consider mentioning things like student surveys, focus groups, anecdotal evidence from teachers and families, a more holistic approach, if you will.
I see. It's about combining those hard numbers with the invaluable insights you gain from direct interactions with students, families, and staff.
Precisely. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can be a huge help here too. Imagine being able to practice analyzing sample data sets and receive AI-powered feedback on your approach.
That's incredible. It's like having a data analysis mentor on demand.
Exactly. And speaking of collaboration, that leads us to our next question. How do you collaborate with faculty and staff to promote student success?
Collaboration is key in any educational setting, but especially for ASOs who act as a bridge between students, families, and educators.
Absolutely. So in answering this question, avoid simply saying, I'm a good communicator. Dig deeper. Showcase your understanding of the nuances of collaboration within a school environment.
So what are some specific examples that would really highlight those collaborative skills?
The RoleCatcher Guide talks about using data to advocate for student needs. Perhaps you could share an anecdote about a time you presented student data to a teacher or administrator and successfully advocated for additional resources or support.
That's a fantastic example. It demonstrates a proactive approach and a commitment to using your knowledge and insights to make a real difference for students. What else comes to mind?
Well, maybe you could talk about facilitating a professional development workshop for teachers on specific learning challenges or collaborating with staff to develop a new school-wide support program. Think about those instances where you've worked as part of a team to create positive change.
These examples really paint a picture of a collaborative spirit. Okay, ready for another question. What else should we be prepared for? Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, haven't we?
We have. It's amazing how much goes into being an effective academic support officer.
Yeah, it's really impressive when you think about it. It's not just about, knowing the material.
Right.
It's about understanding the students, understanding how to work with people.
Absolutely.
It's a very people-oriented job.
It is. It is.
So before we wrap things up, I wanted to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the emotional demands of being an ASO.
Yes.
It's something that aspiring ASOs definitely need to be prepared for.
They do.
The RoleCatcher Guide emphasizes the importance of self-care in this role.
And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's so easy to pour all of yourself into your work.
Right.
Especially when you're passionate about supporting students, but you can't pour from an empty cup.
That's such an important reminder.
It is.
We need to take care of ourselves so we can be the best possible support for our students.
Absolutely. And that looks different for everyone. Maybe it's making time for exercise, spending time with loved ones, or even just carving out a few minutes each day for quiet reflection.
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah, find what works for you and prioritize it. It's not selfish, it's essential. And remember, it's okay to ask for help when you need it, whether it's from colleagues, mentors, friends, family, or even a therapist.
It's a team effort, right?
Exactly. We're all in this together.
And I think that's a great note to end on.
It is.
So, to all you aspiring ASOs out there, remember, you've got this. This deep dive has given you a taste of what to expect, and with the right preparation and that passion you have, you'll ace those interviews and make a real difference in the lives of students.
Absolutely. Go out there and be amazing. We're rooting for you.
That's a wrap for this deep dive. We'll see you next time for more career insights and advice.
Bye for now.